With more than 2 million downloads, this is your number one source for true crime coverage in America. This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Buzbee and Stacey Cole.
From the Hit Killers Podcast, Murder in the Morning.
Well, here's a little interesting thing for you. It's not little, it's actually quite big. 120 additional victims have come forward with sexual abuse allegations against rapper and media mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Yeah, floodgates have opened. And I would say this is more than floodgates. This is like the ocean wall has just collapsed and it's now just colliding into the world of Sean Diddy Combs. The claims, spanning over 25 years, include disturbing accusations from minors as young as 9, with 25 of the victims underage at the time of the alleged incidents. These new accusations were unveiled by Texas attorney Tony Buzbee, who announced during a press conference in Houston that he is representing the victims. Buzbee revealed that one of the youngest victims, a 9-year-old boy, was taken into an audition with Bad Boy Records in New York City, where he was allegedly abused by Combs and others in exchange for promises of a record deal. The individual was sexually abused allegedly by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio. In the promise to both his parents and to himself of getting a record deal, Buzbee said. Founded in 1993, Bad Boy Records helped launch the careers of such artists as Notorious B.I.G., French Montana, the Machine Gun Kelly. Many of the victims claimed they were lured by the promise of fame. Other boys were there to audition as well, Buzbee shared, adding that all of them were minors. The allegations also describe multiple instances when minors were reportedly abused by being isolated by Combs. Another minor told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit him in private about it, away from his parents. Only once they were in the private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made him perform oral sex upon him, Buzbee disclosed during a press conference. In response to these allegations, Combs' legal team has firmly denied the claims. Quote, here we go. Mr. Combs has emphatically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. His Laura Erica Wolf said, he looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. Him and R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein and all those folks. Buzbee's law firm has been inundated with thousands of calls since federal prosecutors announced an indictment against Combs last week. The attorney stressed that while some of the claims have been weeded out as non-credible, at least 120 of the cases will be pursued. Buzbee also mentioned that many victims have medical records to corroborate their claims of being drugged and raped or raped. One of the drugs frequently used is what something is known as trank. How do you pronounce this? Xylazine?
It is xylazine, yes. And xylazine is actually used in the veterinary world quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's become kind of a recreational drug of choice if you're going to party and want a drug. So it's something that in the veterinary field, the clinic I worked at for 8 years, we never used it. We didn't even stock it for that reason, because there were other drugs that worked a little bit better for animals that weren't popular outside of the clinic. So it just wasn't even worth having, because people would break into veterinary clinics looking for it.
So it works for tranquilizing horses, and I guess it's a party drug. Much of the abuse is alleged to have occurred at Combs' infamous parties, such as his annual White Party in the Hamptons, which regularly attracted high-profile guests. Typical MO at one of those parties was that when you were handed a drink, and now we know what that drink is laced with something, that if you refused to drink it, you were kicked out of the party, Buzbee detailed, recounting testimony from a victim. In another case, a pregnant woman alleged that after attending a dinner with Mr. Combs in Miami, she blacked out and woke on his bed with serious injuries. She blacked out and she woke up in the same bed, allegedly with Mr. Combs at his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore, Buzbee recounted.
Jesus.
The attorney urged other potential victims to come forward, saying, if you're out there and you've been victimized, you are not alone. This is a great strength. There is great strength in numbers. Many of the lawsuits, Buzbee noted, will be filed under pseudonyms to protect the victims, primarily in courts in New York City and Los Angeles.
You know what this is going to be? We're going to be like having insomnia and turn on the TV late at night. And it's going to be like those, were you at, what was the military installation where they had like dangerous water, where the attorney comes on. If you were at Camp whatever, Camp Lejeune, it's going to be, if you think you were assaulted by Diddy, call this law firm.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
These are the ones who spoke up on their own fruition. Wait till it starts being advertised. And you're going to have so many people. I mean, we're talking 3 decades of this. And it seems that he won't stop, and he didn't stop.
Well, he stopped now.
Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah.
But I wonder what's going to happen in prison.
Yeah. Well,
is it going to get reversed, or is he going to be a predator in prison as well? Sounds like people are sneaking him food already.
I think you're going to have one of two things. He's going to either die and be killed in prison because there's too many people that don't want this information coming out, which I see a great possibility of. Or he's going to see his day in court, or days, or years, or decades, really in court if he lives, because that's really what this will come down to. But I don't know. You got a lot of powerful people involved in the shit that he was doing that have a very vested interest of not letting that shit come out. It did not come out with Epstein. And yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if he's dead by Christmas.
I think you're 100% right. There's so many lives at stake right now. And I mean people who are completely wrapped up in this and for the wrong reasons. Yeah. This isn't going to end well for him.
No.
I'm fine with that. Sorry, but
I think he should be exposed, and I think all those people should be exposed. So I'm not okay with it. He needs to stay alive. They need to have a fucking guard on him 24/7 to make sure nobody can do anything to him and he can't do anything to himself, because they need to expose all these other fucking people that are part of. I
agree with that, but you know that's not going to happen.
That's what supposedly the intent is here. But yeah, I would not be surprised if he is killed in prison or suicide in prison, quote unquote.
Right. Well, and there's so much more that we don't know about Epstein.
Yeah.
Because he got snuffed out. Yeah. So that's what's going to happen here. He's going to get snuffed because there are way too many people involved in this situation. People whose lives will crumble right before our eyes. Politicians, celebrities, financial people.
Yeah.
Probably people we haven't even thought of.
Yeah. There's a video being shopped around right now, too, that has somebody on it. We'll find out who that is soon. And there's going to be much, 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 much more.
I mean, 30 years of this horrific activity. My neighbor texted me early this morning. She gets up at like 4 a.m. and she texted about some TikTok video that she saw, and Rihanna is somehow getting wrapped up in this, that she might have been a victim. And this is all allegedly and hearsay and absolute gossip at this point. But
breaking news from Stacey's neighbor.
Right. But I mean, at this point, it could be anybody. We could be hearing that Tom Hanks was part of this. He's not. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's not. But it's so absurd that even Mr. Rogers could be wrapped up in this
Jesus
somehow.
Christ. No, it's not. That one's not possible.
I'd like to believe
there's certain things that are just not going to happen in this, and Mr. Rogers being wrapped up in Diddy's shit is not going to be one of them.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But and the whole thing is so absurd that at this point, I'm not going to be surprised. I didn't think we'd be talking about a 9-year-old.
I did.
Oh, well, you're a little more steeped in it than I am, because I didn't see that coming.
There's going to be a lot of kids involved in this shit. He had what allegedly was called puppy parties, where he would hang out with the kids.
So it's like Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby wrapped up in...
With a side of Epstein and a side of R. Kelly and a side of Weinstein and a side of Epstein. It's like it's worse than everybody. This is worse than any. I think this will probably be one of the most prolific, high-profile celebrity sexual abuse cases in history. This is going to beat all of them by fucking eons. This is going to make them. This is going to make them look like Mr. Rogers.
So by putting him in jail, we just moved the crime rate down by tenfold.
Maybe. He's groomed a lot of people at young ages that you have to wonder, are they doing anything now because that's what they think is right, or this is what they have a taste for? Or there's a lot of people out there in this dark, dark world of Diddy. And to think that, maybe he wouldn't be like this. I'm not trying to sound crude here, but that he wouldn't be sharing some of those people who he knows are willing participants in some of this stuff or are coerced participants in some of this stuff to keep doing it. I mean, look at the fucking Sandra Birchmore case and the officers in Stoughton, Massachusetts, passing around a minor to have sex with into her 20s. And one of them gets him pregnant. And the other brother's having sex with her while he knows she's pregnant with the brother's baby. And very likely knew that she's been being groomed since she was 12 years old. That's a couple fucking officers in Stoughton, Massachusetts. With things like this and these people that he's shipping in to have sex with and be part of these parties, there's other rich, powerful people in that same circle that I'm going to guess have similar tastes that we're going to hear like, oh, yeah, she was at Diddy's party. She was at this person's party. There's going to be a lot of overlap here.
It just makes me start to lose faith in humanity. I just, how could this be happening?
Because he fucking rapped about it for 30 years and everybody's like, that's a good jam. Like, this has been in front of us for 30 fucking years. Look at his lyrics. I mean, he fucking has bragged about assaulting women and taking advantage of them and treating them like shit for 30 years. His songs weren't exactly woman empowering. It's more like, come here, suck my dick. I'm fucking rich. Get out of my face now. I can thug him, fuck him, love him, leave him because I don't fucking need him. That's the fucking lyrics to Jay-Z's Big Pimpin'. But this is the attitude. This is the way that they operate. There's no charges against Jay-Z, but again, I'm not going to be fucking surprised.
Wow.
It's in the fucking songs. Come to the Holiday Inn, bring your friends, and if her friend don't participate, then I'll take her other friend. I mean, it's just it's fucking there. It's in the fucking lyrics. He's like, good jam, number 5 this week on the countdown. It's like, anybody's surprised by this. It's like, it's been in your face the whole time, but we like to separate. It makes me feel good. It was from a good point in my life, and I can separate the two. Like, great, but it's not like this shit was fucking secret either.
All right, true crime addicts, let's cut the crap. You're knee-deep in the gory details of your favorite podcast when suddenly a commercial hits like a bad meal. Seriously? You deserve better. Upgrade to True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts, where you can binge without those annoying ads. Plus, get extended interviews that go deeper into the darkness and early access to episodes so you can be the first to know. It's like trading up from fast food to fine dining, but with more blood. So, go ahead. Search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and feast on the good stuff.